Welcome back. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to just be like blah today or if I'm going to give you the amped up, hey girl. And I think we're falling in between those. So I'm getting ready for work. And the other day I read that Patricia McGrath, the Dame, was named like Women of the Year or something from one of the magazines. I don't remember, but I just let me some pet. So I thought that I would use one of her motherships today. This one is Divine Rose. Very much one that you are used to seeing. This one is Utopian Dream. So kind of like on the lighter pinkish side. And then this one is Moonlit Seduction. Right? Yes. Huh. I think I'm gonna go with Divine Rose. We're not surprised. Yeah, so child, let me tell you about the things that have made me laugh this week. Like outside of myself, because Lord knows I do the most. I was reading the news, y'all. And there are a couple of stories that I came across. But first, I'm going to put on my paint base, eyeshadow base from Colored Rain. And I've already put on my moisturizer from Pharmacy and a little bit of my Make It Matte sunscreen gel from Black Girl Sunscreen. I'm trying to squeeze a bit of this out. So, yeah, I was reading the news, and of course, there are the heinous things that are going on in the world. But I was like, you know what? I need some levity. I need something to just lighten the mood, even if it's for a couple of minutes as I read the news or as I sit on the toilet, whichever comes first. So, you know that the recent robbery of the Louvre, you know, the little museum with all the pretty stuff and like with Mona Lisa and all that. Do y'all remember Mona Lisa Smiles, that movie? Anyway, so like, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it is, bunch of people went ahead and robbed the Louvre. Okay, and they took like tens of millions of stuff, like jewelry and such, and then they fled. Because you should, if you just robbed like one of the most famous museums in like the world. And for a minute there, they couldn't find nobody, but I believe that they've captured a few people. Because my thing was, like, you have to have a lot set up and in place to rob the Louvre. I don't know this personally, but I'm assuming, especially from, like, all the TV I've watched and all the things they, like, you know, they make it seem like you gotta have a plan. Gotta have a plan. You gotta have some people who are, like, really talented. You need to have stuff ready, like, beginning, middle, and end. What's your escape route? You know what I mean? This had to have taken like months of years maybe of planning. It had to have. It's not like those folks, like this dude, what is he, in Ohio? He in Alliance, Ohio. He walked in, a 42-year-old dude walked into the bank. This bank hadn't been robbed since 2010, so he decided, let's go ahead and bring it back into the, you know, bring it back into style. He claimed that he had a weapon. He got $400. In this economy, what is that going to buy you? Maybe some groceries. $400, and they were all in $1 bills. I am upset at whoever sat there. Maybe they did it through the till thing or whatever. They like count some money real fast. You sat there, you gave that man $400 in $1 bills. I love it. Who is this teller? Because you are amazing. Anyway, they got the guy. His picture, he just looks so forlorn. Like he don't have no friends. He don't know what to do with himself. So he just woke up on Friday and was like, let me just go take some money. they found him, and he was like, hey, can y'all put the $400 on my commissary since I'm going to jail? Big, bad, and bold. Sir, you just stole the bank is not sponsoring your incarceration. I mean, but you know what? If you don't ask, you won't know. Anyway, so his was not well planned out, right? This not like the Louvre people. It's not like them at all. They had like a truck with a mechanic, and they did this in broad daylight, okay? That is how you know if they did this in broad daylight at the Louvre, they were bold. They were feeling themselves. Going to go into the two mats. It's hard to do it backwards. The two mats here. It was in broad daylight. So they used, I forget the name of, it was like some kind of tool though. It wasn't like a hammer or like a, you know, I don't know, a wrench. It wasn't anything like that. It was like serious. I think it was like a glass cutter handsaw thing. I don't know about toolish. So they use that and they get inside the Louvre. Apparently they like threatened people, like some of the staff and the people, you know, going around trying to see the art stuff, but they didn't hurt anybody. And apparently the museum staff was telling people like, you know, everybody try to be quiet and safe and don't make any false movements. I don't know. I wasn't there. They get away. So it took a little bit of time for them to get in. It took about 4 or 5 minutes for them to gather all the things, and then they got out. Listen, it took them like under 8 minutes. It took them like 7 minutes. That's what I'm saying. That, to me, that is impressive. Okay? I am impressed. If it weren't illegal, they should probably teach a class, maybe like university, college level, on how you break into stuff and take stuff. That's it. That's the title of the course. How to breaking and entering. That's the title. 101, then maybe there are more advanced ones, you know, but yes. So they've caught a few of the folks and they've retrieved some of the jewels. But I don't think they've gotten all of them, girl. Somebody is on a flight somewhere that doesn't have like an extradition clause or something. And I get the only thing you can do is sell that on like the black market, right? Like, which you can't like just have it, you can't wear it. You show up to a function and you're like, oh yeah, this is just what I stole. It's like crown jewel. You can't do that, right? Because you could say, oh, it's a replica, but no, they're too smart for this. They're too smart for this. They're gonna put it in like a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer and some ice, and nobody gonna ever know. But they've caught some of the folks. And so since they've been reviewing their security processes and stuff, apparently some stuff hasn't been updated for like a good 10 years. But also the code for the alarm, guess what it is? Guess what it is? Louvre. Y'all. So you're telling me that for this big old well-known holding all the jewels and the Mona Lisa that these people be liking, you're telling me that the code to get in the door is Louvre? So now I'm like, was it a smart thing? No. Somebody who used to work there is like, hey, they don't be changing the password. They don't change it. We can go ahead and tap in Louvre and we're going to be right in there. Who did that? I'm going to go in with this shade here because it looks so pretty. Who fired? Whoever's... Everybody, all y'all fired, because everybody is punching in Louvre to get into work, and nobody thought, hey, this is real, like, adjacent to having the password of 1234 or password. Nobody thought to change that. Everybody, all y'all fired. You don't deserve to work here. You don't deserve to work here. Or maybe one of y'all is working here. You decided to get your cousins to go ahead and plan to take stuff from the Louvre. They had to have had some other part of the plan, right? They had to have had people lined up to steal stuff. Ain't no way, right? Ain't no way. Wait, you can't do anything with those jewels. You can't tell anybody. Maybe like leave it in your dying declaration or your will or something, but you have to keep this to yourself. You can't tell your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your sister, the people at the bank, people at your job, which is probably the Louvre. You can't tell your boo thing. You can't tell nobody that this is what you did. Don't even like watch the news too much. Like watch it just enough to be like, wow, that sucks. Don't completely avoid it, because then that's gonna be weird. But don't like obsess about it. Child. I applaud them because I love me some ingenuity and some like flexing your skills. And I have to say, Louvre, because I'm sure you want to know my opinion, change that password. Just go ahead and change it. The real kicker though is they could do like a reverse Uno and keep the password, because people are going to be like, of course they changed it. But that tickled me. That tickled me this week because y'all just were asking. You've been asking for like a good 2 decades for somebody to come in and steal your stuff, to steal your art. But I think I was reading in this, fiction book that a lot of times, it's like a cozy murder mystery, that a lot of times they just be having like replicas of stuff up there. So where's the real stuff? It's probably in the storage downstairs. But that tickled me. That was funny to me. What wasn't funny is Kim Kardashian letting us know that she uses ChatGPT to study for like law exams and stuff. Y'all already know how I feel about that AI, like, she using it for law stuff. There was the army general who's using it for like, planning attacks and stuff. Okay, y'all. My therapist was trying to convince me that, it would take so much of like the human brain to AI would have to have the capacity of like a whole bunch of human brains or something to overtake the world. Lies. Okay? I mean, he didn't say overtake the world, but lies either way. The full on, I don't believe you, sir. You don't know what you're talking about. These people about to... You got ChatGPT telling people to do all kinds of craziness. You mean to tell me that somebody's not going to be like, hey, we're going to take over the world. Very like a la Pinky and the Brain. I remember that cartoon. Okay, so I'm going to go in this shade here and just pat that on top. Y'all foolish. That, Or Pinky and the Brain. Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. The Pinky and the Brain, brain. All right, let's talk about my fellow alum, Tyra Banks. Yes, we went to the same high school. She's a couple of years older than me. I love talking about my alum, okay? Tyra, Meghan Markle. I don't like talking about her as much. Anyway, so I feel like Tyra Banks has been popping up more recently, and it's always, of course, whenever that kind of stuff is happening, it's like, okay, what are they coming out with? They coming out with either a hair care line or something, right? Speaking of hair care, I'm gonna have to show y'all the brush dryer that actually works through my hair, my natural 4C hair. That's a miracle. And the new to me shampoo and conditioner I've been using. Like, hello. Anyway, Tyra, Miss Tyra, okay? The creator of Smize. And just, remember that thing when she was like, we were all rooting for you. Anyway, love me some Tyra. And she has historically had this, like, really close relationship with her mom. And I've been seeing them on, like, little morning shows and stuff. And apparently, she is coming out with an ice cream. But here's the kicker. It's called hot ice cream. So everybody's trying to figure out, Tyra, what that mean, girl? What is hot ice cream? And no one has figured out yet, like, what it is, really. Time keeps flying. Let me tell you. So she has this whole thing about her mama and laughing and crying and dreaming and creating and ice cream. And she's saying that she is calling it the world's first hot ice cream experience. Yes, H-O-T, hot in capitals. She's like, it's not a latte, not a hot chocolate, but your favorite scoops transforms. She ain't gonna hire me to do her copy. But your favorite scoops transformed into liquid hot ice cream. Sippable, baby. It's called Hot Mama. So the internet's like, huh? And like, what do you mean? So a writer for an online news thing was like, okay, let me just look at their explanation. So this writer says, Banks started her girl bossy ice cream company, Smize and Dream, in 2020. The kind of place that is dedicated to the concept of mamas and employs a director of Smize Theatrics. I don't know what that means. To hire ice cream scoopers who are camera friendly. Stop it right now. That feels very, like, not inclusive. Like, what is that? What is camera ready? Do I have to smize while I scoop this hot ice cream? So it's so new, it's not even listed on their website yet. So anyway, on the like Instagram or something, people are asking what it is. So someone was like custard, and the official account response was like no. Then they were like, is it like a warm milkshake? And the response, not quite. Then somebody was like, so is it melted ice cream as a drink? And they're like, it's a drink, but it's not melted. Someone's like, is it just a warm cup of milk? And the response is like, if only it were that simple. What else? I don't like, what, girl, what else is left? So they say, unlike traditional ice cream or hot chocolate, it is intentionally churned and warmed to create a creamy, dreamy consistency that can be sipped from a cup. And the U.S. launch is slated for this winter, and it's already already gone viral in Australia. What is hot ice cream? I'm still trying to figure it out. Is you talking about you churning stuff? Because I like to add things. You know, I'll get a little, let's talk about Cold Stone, a little French vanilla, but I want some cookie dough added to it, and like the caramel sauce, and like the graham cracker crust, because I'm trying to imitate one of the Ben & Jerry's flavors, like caramel action. So are you telling me you're going to put all of that, including the like graham cracker crust, somebody might try to throw in almonds, you're going to churn that, and then what? Because they said it's a drink, but it's not melted. So is it a frozen drink that you could have just... Does that phrase equate to like sippable, like liquid that is not frozen? I have no clue, okay? I didn't take this class in college or in high school, apparently, that Tyra took, because I have no idea. And I'm going to try it. Whenever it comes, I gotta support the girl. Whenever it comes out, I will try it. I don't know if I'm gonna drink it, scoop it, chew it. I have no idea. I have no idea. Let me go ahead and finish my face, because y'all don't want to hear the rest of anything I'm saying, and I'll be right back. So here's the finished look, and now I'm going to go to work, and let me know what you think of what made me laugh this week. Tell me what made you laugh this week. Anyways, I think that is it. Yeah, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. I will love it if you like the video, and I will love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.